If you've ever owned a Game Boy or any type of PlayStation Portable of any generation, then your interest was more than likely piqued by the Moto Game-pad mod. I know this instantly grabbed my attention, and I didn't even care what quality it was because the concept was something I had already wished for frequently with my mobile gaming uses. Without further ado, let's go. This is Bad Tech and Gaming's review of the Moto Game-pad mod. As always, we have 4 categories: great, good, bad, and horrible. Beginning with the greats. The concept here is beyond great, actually. The mobile gaming is rapidly growing, and while there is no competition to games like GTA 5 and its graphics, it's awesome to have games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and a whole lot of emulators, World of Tanks, and its new sister game, World of Warships. These are loads of fun, and there's a lot of them. It also touches on some missing features like a headphone jack and a USB Type-C charger because, well, it's kind of covered up when you put the mod in, which is okay, I guess. It also has a battery inside of it of 1100 milliamp hours, and it does last a really long time, and it really makes a difference when your phone has to power the gamepad and the game, but when it's using its battery, it just powers the game and not the gamepad. So it actually does make a pretty big substantial difference when you're actually looking for most hours played on the gamepad. Hanging in there with the greats is the wrist strap. Now this kind of brings me back a little bit as well to my PSP days because the device really feels a lot like the PlayStation Portables. The wrist strap was just a cool thing to have, and I don't know, it just brings me back to when I was a kid. It also has glowing lights on the back that actually look really cool. I think overall, my favorite thing about this product is just how it makes me feel. It feels like I'm a kid playing on my PlayStation again, or my Game Boy, depending on... I had both of them when I was a kid. Now, before I move on to the goods, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. More than likely, you probably haven't, because I only have 100 subscribers, but that would be nice as we're on the path to 1,000. Moving on to the goods. Execution winds up front and foremost here, because it, as an awesome of a product as this is, parts of it, the execution does end up in the bads. More on that in a minute, of course. The L1, L2, R1, R2 are very, very nice, but are also a little bit close together, so they don't end up in the great category. Other things that are in the good category is some games, and I say some on purpose. 2 examples of these are GTA San Andreas and World of Tanks. These games work amazing with the controls and are a lot of fun. Really, they are. I have a blast playing them, they work really well. But some of them, on the flip side of that, don't run. Like Battle Bay and World of Warships at the time of recording this, of course, they don't work at all, and is very disappointing as it's a hit or miss thing. I move from game to game pretty quickly, and most of the games I want to play on here are games that I've already played and beaten. Now that we started rolling into the bads, I'm just going to roll with it. You can tell this product is a first generation product. The amount of flex it has, which really isn't a good thing as you get intense into a game or get frustrated with it and you grip it harder. You can hear it creak. Not to mention that the D-pad is kind of finicky, and when you're playing from an Xbox to the gamepad, when you move from one to another, you have to adjust every single time because it is that much different. Now, you do get used to this, and it is okay once you get used to it, but you have to do that every time. Okay, one more thing on my rant, and this is the only thing in the horrible category. Why is this thing not foldable? This thing is so light. I wouldn't have minded it being a little bit heavier, adding a bigger battery, but most importantly, adding a hinge to it. Move things around. I don't care how big it is. It is very light. They have a lot of leeway here. It would be so much easier to fit into your pocket if you could just fold it in half, instead of it awkwardly poking out of your pocket. And if you like the soundtrack to this particular video, Everlong Music has graciously donated a bunch of his music to us, and I say graciously, but we partnered up and we'll be using a lot of his music going forward. So if you enjoy the soundtrack to this, you can check out Everlong Music, and I'll post a link in the description below. If you hate listening to my voice, don't worry, we're almost done. This is the conclusion. As much as I hated ragging on this device, it truly needs it, as if I don't tell you those things, then you're going to get it and be upset. But what is truly amazing about this product is the possibilities it opens up down the road. With it being way more great than anything else, most of that is nostalgic, and I'm willing to compromise with a lot of things. The Android App Store wasn't built for devices like this. Now, it is a good device and does work amazingly, and I spend a lot more time on it than I would admit. And I would recommend this, but not without a warning. Now, going down the road, as the years pile on, the future generations of this project has the potential to be something absolutely amazing. Therefore, I will support Motorola and the Android platform with my recommendation of this product. But the Apple products also have something out there similar to this. I've seen a couple of them pop up on the internet over time, and I've seen them get similar reviews, but never actually done a lot of research on them. So for you Apple users, that may be something to look into as well. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. With that being said, it is time to end.